Hey yo! I am back playing another game from Steam, and this time it's When the Shutter Stops. And I can't tell, like, from the trailer if it's supposed to take, like, an adult approach to being a child detective, or if it's supposed to be kind of a humorous fake noir kind of thing. But either way, I'm really into it. I kind of like how it looks. Obviously, this is a demo. Let's just jump into this new game because I'm into it already.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's a dirty city, and the people are just as filthy. Me? I'm no different. My story just starts earlier than most.
I don't know who's talking, I'm just assuming it's the little girl.
This whole thing began like any other night. It was in my office. I was set to see my last client for the evening. It was a wiry man that I only ever referred to as Mr. Jacobson. He had come to my office asking for the great Priscilla Vate. That's me. He needed someone to help him track down the man who had stolen his wife's heart. He explained that his wife grew distant and caught her making late-night phone calls to an unknown party. I found the answers for him, but I knew he wouldn't like them. No one ever does. Thanks for coming in, Mr. Jacobson.
Were you able to find anything?
I hold up a large brown envelope. It's the proof and answer to the questions he couldn't ask himself. He needs to know, yet he doesn't want to know. Everything I was able to dig up is in this envelope.
Well?
First, payment for services rendered.
I paid you already.
That was just the upfront payment. Where's the rest?
How much?
$300 for the services, $45 for expenses.
That's too much.
This isn't a lemonade stand, Mr. Jacobson. She's going to take a lot more than that away from you if you don't have these pictures.
Then she...
Silence. His brow lowers and there's a certain liquid quality to his eye. As that moment grown men fight the urge to scream and cry, or both. All I can offer him is a shrug. If you really want to know, I really need to be paid. He fumbles through his clothing and pulls out a cheap, beat-up leather wallet. He dumps its contents. Hundreds, 50s, and 20s peek out from under a small number of $1 bills. He counts out the amount. I'm counting it with him. It's exact, $345. He lays it on my desk. How convenient that you have exactly the right amount. I stare directly into his face, but he can't look me in the eyes. Save it. Normally I charge liars an extra fee, but you've got enough problems. I flick the envelope in his direction. As soon as it is in his hands, he nearly shreds it apart for its juicy contents. When I put these envelopes together, I put the best pictures in the front. It's a simple service I provide to my customers. In his case, it's two women, one of which is his wife, engaging in extramarital affairs. I didn't think your lady would be into the older ones, but hey, different strokes, right? I collect up the cash and roll it into a loose wad. When I look back to him, the blood is drained from his face.
Mother? Didn't see that coming.
Oh, whoa. That's rough, pal. This is going to be good.
I can't believe this. Are these real?
Uh-huh. They're real. Hey, at least you can call her a He slams the pictures down onto the desk and looms over me. This is the part where my client is unhappy with what they've discovered and or what I've said and decides to make it physical.
You little...
And this is the part where I make my client see the error of his ways and persuade them to leave. I think it's time for you to leave now, Mr. Jacobson. Our business is done. The threat of severe electrical shock is enough to change his attitude. He snatches the photographs off the desk and promptly marches out of my office. Another day, another dipshit. Really? I said get lost. Oh, it's you.
A heavyset man. He's not heavyset.
A heavyset man comes through my door, easily 5 times my size and double of the clown that just left.
Nice to see you too.
Sorry, Sam. It's my landlord.
Rough customer?
No more than usual. I answer and pour some of the good stuff into my drinking glass. He reaches out an upturned palm.
Got rent?
Yep. I turn over the wad of cash. It rarely lasts this long.
What's his deal?
I keep my clients' personal dealings private, Sam. He stops counting the cash and stares. It pokes a hole right through my code of ethics. His wife and mom were going at it.
Does anyone like their mother-in-law?
Apparently she did.
What?
I meant they were screwing around behind his back.
That's rough.
That's what I said.
You going to have the rest of the rent?
Yeah,
When?
soon. He's not thrilled with the answer, but it's all I have for him. Cut me some slack. Business has been slow.
Not my problem.
I'm the only tenant here that tries to pay their rent anyway. He cracks a cynical smile. I don't think Sam would ever put me out on the street, even if I couldn't pay. He sits in the chair opposite of me and exhales his frustrations.
Also the only one that puts me in trouble with the police.
Not my problem. I grin back at him. He watches my place when I'm not around, doesn't make any fusses about me being far underneath the legal age to live on my own, and doesn't ask too many questions. Unless someone gets nasty or I forget to pay rent, then he asks plenty. He motions at my glass.
Got enough for that apple juice?
I'm not much use in getting rent if I'm dying from thirst and hunger, Sam.
Be better at it if you took the right kind of pictures.
Pedo.
Don't even. That's not funny. You know what I meant.
I'd love to, but it's not that easy. Nobody's going to buy a nameless kid's photographs. All there is in this city to photograph is filth. I throw my hand at the way Mr. Jacobson went. And I'm already doing that.
Hey, it's not that bad.
Yes, it is. I put on my best pout, but it only hardens his resolve. His eyes open in a just slightly too wide way. Any moment now, lasers will shoot out and reduce me to a pile of ash. I'm sure of it. Well, that's what the stare feels like anyway. Sorry. A few more jobs and I'll pay up. I promise. He pushes my hat down over my eyes before giving my head a firm pat. Hey!
Do your homework next time.
What?
Your client. You didn't know that was his mother, did you?
No, I didn't.
He wouldn't have blown up at you if you broke it to him gently.
Telling someone the 2 people that should love them the most don't? Seems hard.
Kid?
He's quiet just long enough to let it drop.
Just don't do anything reckless, okay?
Me? Reckless? He gives me another look that pokes straight through my facade. Yeah, I didn't believe it either. The moment Sam leaves, the phone on my desk rings. Talk. A lady's voice comes across the phone. It's a smooth, calm, professional voice. It's the voice of a woman who's made making phone calls her career.
Miss Vate, the PPD respectfully requests your assistance at the corner of 4th and Wicker.
You don't beat around the bush, do you?
I was warned not to.
I'm not really in a position to be refusing work, but the Philadelphia Police Department offers some of the worst work there is to have. Sorry, I can't take on any more work right now. A familiar husky voice comes from the other side. It's the voice of a man who has made a career out of chain smoking and pastry eating. It's the chief of the Philadelphia Police Department.
It's a crime scene. A hot one.
The noise that follows is the chief's frustrations. It sounds a bit like a sigh, a bit like a groan, and a bit like, please make it stop. I've never had a conversation with a man that didn't once involve him making that groaning sigh.
You need the work, and we need the help.
He's right on both counts. My landlord and the stack of red and yellow past due notes on my desk remind me of that much. But still, I have plenty of reasons to not want to take on their work. I don't need it that badly, especially not after last time.
Listen, kid, we've got a serial killer on the
You want me to go after a serial killer? No.
You've taken down worse. Come on, Prissy.
No, and don't you dare call me that.
You could help put a stop to it. Think the good you could do.
You don't pay bills with good deeds, and if you could, you and your force would be bankrupt anyway.
Don't be like that, Vate. I'll double your usual.
I do need the money. Quadruple it, and I call the shots or I walk.
Deal.
My age doesn't dissuade the PPD from calling on my services. Being well underneath U.S. labor laws, age restriction isn't a deal breaker for them. Skirting, breaking, and ignoring rules is something they're good at. But I've refused a lot of work from the PPD, and chasing murderers and playing whodunits with the homicide division isn't the worst of it. I've done some things that I'm not proud of, and getting involved in police affairs has yet to help me sleep better at night.
2 of our boys are already down there waiting for you. And try to be nice this time, Vate. We can't afford to lose anyone else.
He hangs up before I can respond. Damn it. I step out of my office and into the street. It's humid, chilly, and the stink of the city hangs in the air. It's been a rough year. I've lost a lot of things, but my sense of smell wasn't one of them. Summer is practically over and fall is upon us. I'm reminded that there are things that I need to take care of. I've been neglecting to add myself to that list. It's probably because I always find myself in this situation. Someone has a problem and somehow comes to the conclusion that a little girl is the best solution. They're often light on the details, so I wind up finding out what the job is really about when I'm already knee-deep in it. I knew this case would be no different.
Okay, I think I'm gonna end that there. Save. Save. Yes. Alright, so that is when the shutter stops. And yeah, that's pretty cute. I see now that my question was answered. It is taking a slightly more adult spin on having a child detective, which I think could be cool depending on how gritty the cases get, I guess. But I like this so far, so if this is your thing, why don't you play it for yourself? You know, check out the rest, because I'm not going to go through the whole demo. Don't know how long it is. But if you want to support something like this and you've got money to boin, check out the Kickstarter too, or just try to support the dev however you can.